Most retirees believe that once their Social Security check starts, that is the end of the story. They think if they were owed more money, someone would have already told them. That sounds safe, but it is wrong. The truth is, many older Americans are missing benefits that can add up to hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars a month, not because they did anything bad, but because the system does not line everything up for them automatically. Stay on this video and subscribe, because what I'm about to tell you could put thousands back in your pocket. Before I show you anything, I need you to answer one question. Have you ever assumed your current monthly income is simply the best you can do, so you stop checking? If that sounds like you, do not brush it off. Most people assume they are safe, but here is what I hear over and over from people just like you. I already get Social Security. I own a home, so I probably do not qualify. I am not poor enough for help. I do not want to waste time filling out forms. What I want you to realize is this. Missing benefits does not always happen to careless people. It happens to organized people, proud people, smart people, and people who did exactly what they were told for 40 years. You might think this does not apply to you. Let me ask you something. If your spouse passed away, if your health got worse, if your medicine costs went up, if your savings dropped, or if your rent or property taxes rose, did you ever go back and check what changed? If you answered yes to that, then pay close attention because you could be next. The money is often not in one giant pile. It is spread across survivor benefits, spousal benefits, SSI, VA programs, Medicare help, and food assistance. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Subscribe right now because the next few minutes show where the hidden money is, and if you miss one step, you could leave hundreds behind every single month. Meet Carol. She was 71, living in Ohio, and doing what many people do. She kept a notebook, paid every bill on time, and believed being careful was enough to protect her. Then one morning she opened a letter about her Medicare costs, sat down at her kitchen table, and felt that heavy drop in her stomach. She was paying more than she expected, buying less food than she needed, and still telling herself, "At least I'm getting what I qualify for." A few days later, her daughter asked one small question that changed everything. "Mom, did you ever check whether you could receive a higher benefit on Dad's record?" Carol froze. She had never asked, not once. That one question led to three more. Could she switch to a survivor benefit? Could she get help with Medicare premiums? Could she qualify for food support because her medical bills were eating up so much of her income? She wished someone had warned her 1 week earlier, 1 month earlier, even 1 year earlier. When she finally checked, she learned something painful. The problem was not that help did not exist. The problem was that no one had put the pieces together for her in plain English. That is why I am doing it for you now. Don't just listen. Subscribe and promise yourself you will check at least one benefit after this video, or this becomes information you never use. Here is what nobody explains clearly. Let me break it down into 4 parts. There are earned benefits, needs-based benefits, service-based benefits, and cost-saving benefits. If you only look at one part, you can miss the rest. The first thing you need to know is earned benefits. These are benefits tied to work records, like your own Social Security retirement, a spousal benefit, or a survivor benefit after a spouse dies. Think of this like having more than one key on the same key ring. Just because you used one key does not mean the others stopped existing. Let me be very clear about what this means. Many widows and widowers do not realize that survivor benefits follow different rules than spousal benefits. In some cases, a surviving spouse can start one benefit and switch to another later if that second one grows larger. That one choice can change a monthly check in a big way. Here is the exact number you need to remember. One missed switch can mean several $100s a month. Over 1 year, that can become $6,000, $8,000, even more. The rule is simple. Do not assume your first Social Security choice is your best one forever. Now let's talk about needs-based benefits. This is where many people shut down too fast. They hear the words income limits and decide there is no point. But programs like SSI are designed for older adults and people with disabilities who have limited income and limited resources. Right now, the federal SSI maximum is close to $1,000 a month for one person and nearly $1,500 for a couple. Not everyone will get the full amount because other income can reduce it, but if you never check, zero is exactly what you get. Next comes service-based help. If you are a veteran or the surviving spouse of a veteran, this is where a lot of money gets missed. VA pension programs, including aid and attendance, can add monthly help when someone needs assistance with daily tasks like bathing, dressing, eating, or staying safe at home. Then there are cost-saving benefits, and these are sneaky because they do not always look like income. Medicare savings programs can help pay premiums and in some cases, other Medicare costs too. Extra help can reduce prescription drug costs. SNAP can help with groceries. When you stack relief like that, your monthly budget can feel hundreds of dollars bigger without your Social Security check changing at all. By the time I'm done, you're going to know more than most financial advisors about this one topic. Because the truth is simple. The system does not reward people who assume, it rewards people who check every door. Join the people in this channel who take action instead of hoping for the best. Hit subscribe now and be part of a group that protects every dollar. Let me show you Martha. She did not change anything. For 2 years, she stayed on her own smaller retirement benefit after her husband died because she assumed that was the only check she could receive. Here is where she ended up: tight groceries, delayed dental care, and constant fear every time the electric bill arrived. Now look at June. Same situation, same starting point. She asked Social Security to compare her own benefit and her survivor option. Here is where she is now: a higher monthly check and room to breathe again. The difference was one simple action. Let me show you Frank. They did not change anything. For 14 months, he paid every Medicare cost out of pocket and kept skipping one prescription because it felt too expensive. Here is where he ended up: more stress, more debt on a credit card, and worse health. Now look at Leonard. Same age, same income range. He applied for a Medicare savings program and got drug cost help too. Here is where he is now: lower monthly bills and no guessing at the pharmacy counter. The difference was one simple action. Let me show you Betty. They did not change anything. For 1 full year, she told herself food help was for other people, even while she cut fresh food from her shopping list. Here is where she ended up: less nutrition, more weakness, and more worry. Now look at Rose. Same type of budget, same rising grocery prices. She checked SNAP rules for older adults and used her medical expenses in the process. Here is where she is now: more food in the house and less panic near the end of the month. The difference was one simple action. Let me show you James. They did not change anything. For 3 years, he needed help getting dressed and moving safely, but he never checked whether his military service opened the door to VA pension support with aid and attendance. Here is where he ended up: paying for help out of savings and watching those savings fall fast. Now look at Walter. Same health struggle, same service history. He filed for the VA benefit he had earned. Here is where he is now: monthly help that took pressure off his family. The difference was one simple action. Here is what I need you to see. No action means the pressure grows quietly. Take action and the pressure can shrink faster than you think. No action means you carry the burden alone. Take action and the right program may carry part of it for you. Let me show you Diane. They did not change anything. She assumed her small pension meant she would never qualify for SSI because she was not poor enough. For 18 months, she kept scraping by and letting small needs become big problems. Now look at Elaine. Same kind of fixed income, same fear about applying. She checked anyway. Here's where she is now: monthly support that helped cover basics she kept postponing. The difference was one simple action: subscribe today, because some benefits only help you after you apply, and every month you wait is a month you may never get back. Here is a myth that keeps people stuck: if I qualified, the government would tell me. That is simply not true. Different agencies handle different programs, and they do not always line up your options for you. Someone told you the system would catch you automatically, and that person was wrong, because many programs require you to ask, apply, and update your information. Here is another myth: I get Social Security, so I cannot get anything else. That is simply not true. Social Security does not automatically cancel your chance to receive help with Medicare costs, food, survivor benefits, or in some cases, SSI. The thing everyone gets backwards is thinking one check means the search is over. You might have heard someone say, I own a home, so I will never qualify. I need to be direct with you. That advice will cost you. Some programs look at income, some look at resources, some use special rules, and some do not treat your main home the way people assume. The biggest lie about this topic is this: the paperwork is not worth it. That sounds tough and practical, but it can be very expensive. If 30 minutes of checking saves you $200, $500, or $1,000 a month, that is not paperwork. That is pay. Hit subscribe if you want the version of your future where the bills are calmer, the fridge is fuller, and you sleep better at night. Now I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Move number 1. Build your benefit file. Here is why this matters right now. You cannot compare options if your own numbers are spread across drawers, envelopes, and half-remembered phone calls. Here is exactly how to do it step by step. Step 1. Gather your Social Security award letter, Medicare card, pension statements, bank balances, housing costs, and medication costs. Step 2. Add your marriage, divorce, or death certificate if it applies. Step 3. Put it all in one folder. Once you do these steps, you stop guessing and start seeing the real picture. Move number 2. Ask Social Security the comparison question. Think of it this way. You are not asking for a favor. You are asking which door opens wider. Your action steps are simple. Call Social Security or use your online account. Ask them to compare your own retirement benefit, any spousal benefit, and any survivor benefit you may qualify for. If you are widowed or divorced, say that clearly. Now here's what changes when you do this. You replace assumptions with numbers, and numbers can put real money back in your life. Do this one smart thing with me. Subscribe, stay with me, and do not tell yourself you will look later, because later is where lost money goes to hide. Move number 3. Screen the savings programs that lower your bills. This is where most people get lazy. They skip this step and pay for it later. Don't be that person. Here's exactly what to do. Check whether you may qualify for a Medicare savings program, drug cost help, SNAP, or SSI. If you are a veteran or surviving spouse, check VA pension and aid and attendance too. Why this works: even when the check itself does not rise much, your monthly cost can fall hard, and that creates breathing room fast. Move number 4. Apply in the order that creates momentum. Let me be very specific. First, you ask about the benefit tied to your work record or your spouse's record, because that gives you a clear income starting point. Then you check Medicare help, because lowering health costs can free up money right away and may open the door to more help. Finally, you apply for food, SSI, or VA support if your situation fits. When you finish, you will have a clean path instead of a pile of confusion. Move number 5. Review every 12 months and after every life change. This is the one most people overlook. It takes a little time, but it creates protection. Your checklist is simple. Review after a spouse dies, after a divorce, after a hospitalization, after big medical bills, after a move, after your income drops, or after savings change. Now you're protected. The goal is not one lucky application. The goal is a system that keeps working for you. Join the people who refuse to leave money on the table. Subscribe now and be part of a group that checks, follows up, and protects what they earned. This next part is what I tell my closest family members. It's that important. Here's a technique nobody talks about publicly. Do not ask, "Do I qualify for help?" Ask, "Which 3 programs should I check first based on my age, marital status, health, income, and service record?" That question changes everything because it forces the person on the other end to think wider. Here's why it works so well. Most people ask one narrow question and get one narrow answer, but the money is often found by stacking help. A higher survivor benefit, plus lower Medicare costs, plus food support, can move a household by hundreds or even over $1,000 a month. In the right case, especially with VA support involved, the monthly difference can reach that $3,000 mark people never thought was possible. Here's exactly how to apply it right now. Write down 5 facts before you make any call. Your age, whether you are married, widowed, divorced, or single, whether you served in the military or were married to someone who did, whether you need help with daily living, and whether your health costs rose in the last 12 months. Then ask the wide question, not the small one. Remember when I told you about that moment at the kitchen table when someone realizes they may have missed something big? Here's what happened next for one viewer just like you. I'll call her Diane to protect her privacy. Diane was 68 and living in Arizona. She was worried about rising bills and felt embarrassed, even asking for help. After watching one of my videos, she decided to take action. Here is exactly what she did. She gathered her papers, asked Social Security to compare benefits, checked Medicare help through her state, and screened for food support instead of assuming she would be turned away. Here is the result. Her monthly pressure dropped, her drug costs came down, her food budget improved, and most important, she stopped living with that constant fear that one broken appliance or one bad medical bill would knock her flat. Her exact words to me were, "I thought I had a money problem. What I really had was an information problem." If she can do it, you can do it too. One thing I want you to remember is this: the biggest retirement mistake is not always spending too much. Sometimes it is failing to claim what you already earned, what you already qualify for, or what you can still unlock. Now, here's what I need you to do next. In the next 72 hours, make one call, ask one comparison question, and check one program you have been ignoring. Do not try to do everything forever. Just start, because one good step can change your whole month, and one changed month can change your whole retirement. Join thousands of retirees who subscribe and never miss a chance to protect their savings. Hit the button now. If you know someone who needs to hear this, send them this video right now. I'll see you in the next one.